Hey guys, Vincent back with another video. Today we'll be talking about the Aeropress. It's this super easy to use, versatile, and portable brewing device that was designed and manufactured by Aeropress. Aeropress actually designs Frisbee discs of all things, but they've perfected this material that's BPA free and it's not harmful to the body, so it's safe and healthy for you to brew out of. First, let's talk about the shape and design of the Aeropress itself. We've got ourselves the body right over here, and then we've got our plunger. After that, we've got the filter, and the thing that holds the filter into the body of the Aeropress. It's pretty simple. The plunger goes on the body, and when that happens, creates a vacuum seal, and once we're done brewing, based on our timing, we then press all the coffee out. The Aeropress is very similar to the French press in that it's a full immersion. But this is very different from the pour over. The pour overs are a percolation, and so you get more complexity being brewed out as it slowly drips out. Whereas in a full immersion like the Aeropress, the beans are fully immersed in the water, and your complexity is completely based on the timing window of how long you press the coffee for. The main difference from the French press and the Aeropress is that the Aeropress can actually use multiple kinds of filters. It's traditionally brewed with a paper filter. There are aftermarket metal discs that are available for the Aeropress as well, in which you could, I guess in a way, replicate the French press. But another core difference is that the Aeropress is still a press when you're pressing the coffees. The coffee's actually being extracted out. And so you can have different layers of complexity being pressed out. Whereas in a French press, you're pressing so that the grinds will all settle, and then you have to pour everything out. So there's very little complexity in the French press overall. So what are the variables that we can change to make the coffee taste better? I wanted to talk about two main ones today. The first one being the grind size, and then the second one being timing. For grind size, as with my other videos, I talk about grinding finer a lot because it creates a more even extraction. I think that's actually very important. So we'll be using a finer grind size today as well. If you want, you can use a coarser one, and it tends to brew out a lighter and perhaps a sweeter cup of coffee. Next, we have the brew timing. As a rule of thumb, I always say we should finish our brews at 2 minutes. But with a plunger, we have to consider the pressing speed. So when do we start pressing the coffees out of our Aeropress? If you want a more complex flavor profile, I do think you should press slower. So I would start the pressing at about 1:15 to 1:30 seconds, and then you press until the 2-minute mark. If you want like kind of a stronger, heavier flavor profile, you're gonna wanna start pressing closer to the end, maybe at like 1:45, and you just wanna press as quickly as possible to extract all the flavors out. In general, there are two main ways to brew with the Aeropress. One is a standard way, where you put the plunger on the top, and then the other one is the inverted method. This one's just more of a full immersion, and I'll be going over both the different techniques with you. So for our recipe today, we're gonna be needing a kettle, a cup, and of course the Aeropress itself. You may want to use a scale, but the Aeropress is actually quite simple. It even has a measuring device for you. If you look over here, the number 4 determines how much liquids you're filling up to. That's 240 grams of water. If we're brewing at a 1:15 ratio, we just need to find out how to get 16 grams of beans. And that generally is just 2 large scoops of coffee grinds. Now that we've got an overview of the Aeropress, let me go to the bar counter and demonstrate the normal and the inverted Aeropress technique to you. Hey guys, so now we're at the bar counter with all the equipment set up. I'm going to show you guys how to do the Aeropress the normal way first. Because the Aeropress doesn't actually fit on the cup itself, it comes with this plunger or this kind of device. You can use it to put your grinds in without it falling out, but I actually like to put it on my cup so that it fits perfectly and I can press on it. This allows it to fit into smaller cups as well. So we've got this in here. Now we've got our filter, And the filter we're gonna attach to the bottom of the Aeropress itself. You know, like that, you place it in, you lock it in. So that goes on top of here now, and we're going to just quickly rinse the filter. So you just pour the water and quickly rinse it. Same time of rinse, you're gonna be heating up the cup itself. Once that's done, we're gonna get our coffee beans ready. We're gonna be using these pre-grounds. I just ground it fresh anyways. But we're gonna be doing 2 full, you're gonna wanna discard the water as well. So now that our cup is hot, our filter is rinsed, we're gonna get the grinds in there. We're gonna do 2 giant scoops of coffee beans. That's 1. And there's the second one. And that's gonna be just enough water for us, or coffee beans for us anyways. I'm gonna put that aside now. And now you're gonna wanna look at the number 4 right there. What we're gonna do is we're gonna give that a quick swivel. It's gonna be a flat bed we're looking for. And then we're just going to pour slowly at the beginning. It smells so nice already. You're just gonna wanna quickly push all the way and pour all the way to the top, to the number 4. And you're gonna give it a quick stir. I wanna break out all the gases. And you're gonna put the plunger on. And we're gonna let that sit for 1 minute and 30. Now that it's been about 1 minute and 30 seconds, we're gonna press really slowly. What I like to do is I just like to lean into it. I just put my 2 hands on there and kind of make sure it's flat, set, and I'm just gonna apply some pressure into it. And you're gonna wanna press as slowly as you can. If you want complexity, if you want more compact flavors, you're gonna press a little bit faster. This is the speed at which I like to go to. And if you look, you can see that the water level is going down. When it's done being pressed out, you're gonna hear this kind of like gassy sound. That means we're done extracting. The water is all out, and then it's just air left. And then we're gonna set that aside, and you can now drink your coffee. So after the normal Aeropress method, we're gonna go into the inverted method. As you can see, the plungers on the bottom, the whole device itself is upside down. This makes it an actual full immersion. No coffees will be dripping out when I pour the water in. And it's purely controlled by the timing of how long I press the coffee for. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get the grinds back in there. Same amount, we're gonna be using 2 large spoonfuls. There's 1. And there's the second one. We're gonna pour our water into here. We're gonna flatten the bed quickly. I've had it set so that the plunger starts at the 4, and then we're just gonna pour it all the way to the top. And then we're gonna give it a quick stir. Just make sure, this is to make sure all the grinds are completely moistened and saturated. And see, with the inverted, we can actually control this a lot more. On the normal method, it'd be sinking down already. I always leave a little bit of room at the top for the gases. Once the gases have flattened out, we're just gonna fill back to the top. And we're gonna wait for 1 minute and 30, and we're gonna start flipping everything and pressing it over, okay? Now that we've waited for the 1 minute and 30, the filter's not pre-wet yet. We're gonna just quickly, now that it's pre-rinsed, we're gonna flip this over, place it on, and twist the cap, okay? It's locked in. So this is the tricky part. You're gonna be quick, and you're just gonna pour or flip it over. And from here, we're gonna do like just what we did earlier. We're just gonna press. Slowly and surely, the liquids come out. Press all the coffees out, nice and slowly. Because there's more liquids in the inverted one, since it doesn't start dripping right away, it does take a little bit longer to press it all out. And there we go. We're done pressing everything out. And that is our Aeropress. Is the inverted Aeropress method. So here, now that we've done both the normal and the inverted brew methods for the Aeropress, we can see that there are some differences in the taste. The inverted one tends to have a stronger body and flavor profile just because we're able to stir for longer and it doesn't start dripping right away. The normal one though is quite unique, and we'll be going over that in another video, but you could play around with the plunging timings even more so. And that allows us to extract certain flavors at different times. And that really allows us to push the flavors of the Aeropress. I hope you guys found this guide on the Aeropress useful. If you like our content, follow us and subscribe to us for weekly content. If you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments. Tell us what you want to learn about, and we'll make a video for you. I'll see you next time, okay?